Stream is live.
All right. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing well as well. Excited to chat about real estate and all the things and debt and all the fun things.
Oh yeah, that's what we're here for debt.
We are. So, yeah, what do you want to chat about?
So I figure I have a lot of different questions, but for the people that don't know you, for the people that don't know me, my name is Jada Tholey. I'm a real estate investor and I am a buyer and a lender majority in Texas or majorly in Texas. Who are you, Sam?
My name is Sam. I'm a real estate investor as well. I invest in St. Louis, Missouri myself with flips and wholesales and buy and holds. And then I also have an education company that is nationwide.
Amazing. And how long have you been doing this?
I've been investing in real estate for right at 10 years.
Ooh, that's pretty
You were
good.
probably in elementary school when I was started investing in real estate.
False. I had just gotten into high school.
There you go. I like it.
So that shows you. So, okay, question for me. Okay, question for you from me. What made you feel like you had enough knowledge to start an education kind of course on this?
Yeah, mainly the biggest reason I started in education was all the people that I saw that shouldn't be coaching and teaching, coaching and teaching. I remember somebody wrote a Burr book. I'm not going to say their name. It's not like Brandon Turner or anybody famous, but I know somebody that wrote a Burr book after they did like 5 Burr deals. So I started in 2014. I quit my job in 2018 and 2021 is when I started started educating. So I've been doing it for 6 years. When I started teaching, I probably owned about $30 million worth of real estate and probably had done like 600 deals. So that's why I felt like I was qualified to teach. And now we do 250 deals a year, done over 1,000 flips, and own 50 million in real estate. So obviously now I feel like I'm qualified. But even then, the biggest reason I got in was because so many people were teaching it that didn't know what they were talking about and didn't deserve to be teaching it, in my opinion. And it's kind of a slimy space with all these people in here trying to get your money for a program that they don't really know what they're talking about. So I went all in and started teaching and coaching for free online. And then for people that want more, I have a program for them. Pretty simple.
Very simple. Love it. How did you get into like 600 deals in such, I guess, I mean, it wasn't like such a short amount of time, but kind of.
Yeah, like 6 years. So like anything else, it started off like slow. Like if people like are like you're in 30 million of debt, no bank would give me 30 million. Well, a bank probably wouldn't give me 30 million even now. It's one of those things that happens slowly over time. So my first like year, I think we did like in 2014, 2 or 3 deals. In 2015, probably 10 or 12. 2016, maybe 25. 2017, maybe like 40, and then went all in 2018, 120, 2019, 150, 2000. So just a gradual growth over time. And 18 on has been a majority of what I've done since I've been full time. But again, when I quit my job in 18, 14 to 18, I probably had done whatever the math is, 60, 70 deals. So that's more than most people do that teach it. So anyways, I don't have the exact math of when everything was happening, but I had done plenty of deals before I started teaching it.
Oh, what kind of deals were they? Were they like all Burr?
Wholesale, fix and flip. So I do a little bit of everything. So my strategy is a little bit different, Jada. My strategy is, what do you need? Do you need cash now? You wholesale. Is your cash position okay? Are you not in any bad credit card debt and you want bigger chunks of cash? Let's flip. If
Mm,
you are doing good actively, income wise, and living a lifestyle that you enjoy, let's start to build wealth and buy rentals. So I'm not a have to do one way or the other. I think it's a customized, holistic approach, is what I kind of call it. So it's customized for each person's need, but then it's like a holistic approach of let's just get distressed properties coming in the door and figure out how to maximize those properties.
that's interesting. Okay. So,
Okay.
so many people that I know and or know of, they say to pick one thing. Why didn't you pick one thing? I mean, you maybe the one thing was real estate, but not like.
Yeah, the one thing was real estate. I've noticed that, and this is not a bad thing, but a lot of people just take a saying that somebody else says that they respect, and then they say to do it. Alex Ramosi said this, so I'm going to say to do it. It's kind of the way of the world these days, which isn't even a bad thing because Alex says a lot of really good stuff. But I think it's one of those things where, like, I buy distressed assets. that's pretty niche down. That's pretty focused. I buy distressed real estate assets, apartments, single family rental, self storage, hotels. I don't buy. I mean, like I invest in crypto and do other things, but that's just like a side thing. Like I'm not like trying to start a restaurant chain. I'm not trying to start an e-commerce store. I'm not trying to start a clothing brand. I just buy distressed real estate assets. So I feel like that's very, very niche down. It just happens to be I pick the best exit strategy for each asset. I don't just pick the exit strategy because, you know, whoever Alex or whoever says to do this exit strategy. I just do what makes sense, but I am focused. It's just a different way to focus. I just focus a little higher up in the funnel and then do the most efficient thing. And it's not as catchy. I don't have the hair of Hermosi or the muscles or the articulation skills, but I just do me.
That's funny.
You don't have to laugh that loud at the muscle comment, Jade. Okay, you didn't have you didn't have to laugh out loud.
I will not respond in the manner that I could, but I take it back. I redact that laugh. My apologies.
I'm just kidding. You know that.
Have you ever thought about writing a book? Like, are you one of those people? Because I'm not. I mean, oh, wow, dude. Amazing. What is in the book? Please tell us more.
Own Your Freedom is how to create leverage and create financial freedom. I basically go through my story and talk about like how I've created financial freedom through real estate. Normal guy from the Midwest, didn't inherit anything from my parents or grew up in an entrepreneurial household. My dad was a teacher. Mom was an engineer, like super boring, like as boring as it gets. Lower middle class, Midwest. And I've turned this into, you know, some pretty cool stuff. So I wrote a book about it. It's $4.99 on Amazon. I think I make like $1.30 every book I sell. So it's not a profit center for me. It's just to get it out there. And it comes with a free 40 video course. So you get a QR code in the back and you get 40 extra videos. So obviously it's worth $5. It's not, I'm not like, again, we'll stop talking about Alex Hormozi. I'm not as good of a writer as him, but it's also worth $5. I promise you that.
I
sign a copy for you. You send one to me, I'll sign you a copy for you. How about that?
Oh, heck yeah. Everybody,
put it
in the chat. I'm going to buy one. I want a signed copy so that we can make sure that happens.
I like it. So I'm glad we're here on StreamYard. The only issue with that, as I meant to mention, is my audience doesn't get notified that we're live unless we're on Instagram. They would have. So.
Oh, well then we can go on Instagram.
Well, we're here right now, so might as well finish it. Maybe next time.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Yay! Because I have so many more questions.
Let's get them.
There's so many. I don't mean for this to be an interview, but I do. But I don't. Awesome. I like to know more about people. So one, why did you write the book? Like why did you feel, I guess it's kind of the same question along the lines of like the education course, but like what made you start feeling like, oh, not only do I have the education course, but I feel like people should know more about me in this book. And what was the whole point?
Yeah, just kind of growing the brand. It's a brand building thing, a credibility thing, author, being able to have an Amazon bestseller kind of thing. It's just growing the brand because I truly think that what I teach and what I do helps people. I see the houses that we buy. I see the sellers cry at the closing table because we help them out of a sticky situation. I see the houses that we turn from dilapidated that are decreasing the value of every house within a half-mile radius. I see us or the people we sell it to fix them up and move in an incredible family. I see our renters that are amazing that want to rent or have to rent, and we provide safe housing. And then on top of that, I see the students. I have 1,700 students and over 200 million in real estate. I see people's lives being changed. I see people quitting their job. We had a teacher that was making $2,500 net a month go from 3 rentals to 40 rentals in a year. And he quit his job, and now he teaches other people how to do it. And now he's got 48 rentals. And so I just see people's lives being changed. And yes, of course, I like having another income stream, but it's really cool to see the impact of real estate, because those that think real estate investors like are hurting the economy or the real estate industry, they just don't understand it. There's nothing wrong with them, but they don't get it. Like a majority of real estate investors, not all, buy distressed houses that aren't livable or sellable or rentable, and they add them to the supply. So our supply shortage issue, real estate investors help that out, because houses I buy, no one can live or move into for the most part. So anyways, I truly believe in the process, the product, and the results. So that's why I create a book. That's why I spend 30 hours a week on social media. That's how I've got 3 million followers, is I just put it out there and try to help people as much as I can, and are authentic and have a cool stash and mumble and slur and all the things.
That brings up a great point, because I saw your live yesterday with, who was it again? What was his name?
Tay Tay, my boy Taylor Sons.
Yes. And for me, I was getting a little heated behind the scenes. But he was kind of mentioning, like what you were mentioning, how a lot of people will think that real estate investors are bad and that they're taking a lot off the market and just keeping it for themselves, essentially, because they're having it as rental properties or whatever it may be. But I'm in the same mindset, and maybe because I'm a little biased because I am a real estate investor as you, where it's like, well, we're helping a lot of homeowners. Like for me, I work with, I do a lot of creative financing. So I do a lot of subject to offers, and essentially that's taking over people's mortgage payments, which you probably know. But a lot of people, especially now, they're trying to sell their house. And because rates are so high and X, Y, and Z, they can't. The house is sitting on the market, and we give them this opportunity. Hey, you have a really good interest rate. We think that we can do something to be profitable for whatever kind of rental or exit strategy, or maybe even for depreciation for some end buyers. So like, let's work a deal. And I don't think a lot of people hear about that enough.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's just a misconception. It's just misinformation. It's just not understanding. It's not like it's a bad thing usually. It's just they don't understand. They think there's this young, family who's going to buy this house, and some greedy real estate investor outbids them all cash. That's not what happens. Real estate investors, especially, good ones, like, or either good real estate investors or real estate investors are going to fail. Like, you can't buy houses at market value and cash flow and make it work. That's not what it works. And there's no houses that are ready to move in that are selling below market value. So we don't play in that game. We don't play in the listing Zillow game. The real estate investors don't play in that atmosphere. We play in the off market distressed assets game, and then we make them undistressed, and we add them to the supply. So it's just the opposite of what people think, and for whatever reason they don't understand it, and that's fine. They just don't quite get it, and that's okay. But it doesn't mean that they're accurate because they make those statements.
Yeah. And what made you, I guess, move from your work? What was your previous job before this? And in addition to that question, did you ever think that you would be where you are now? Like, did you kind of feel like, there's more for me out there, I just don't know what it is yet, before?
Not really, no. So what I used to do is I used to sell Caterpillar construction equipment. So I was in sales. I was a sales manager, and I started investing in real estate on the side. Read Rich Dad Poor Dad, the whole cliche thing, and just kind of saw the power of it and the coolness of kind of being able to be your own boss and doing your own thing and growing your own wealth. Like, I think I did well at my job, but the company made a couple $1,000,000 like off of like what I sold and how I did it, like profit, and that's good for them, and I got paid decently, but move myself to the point where I'm be able to make that by being owner. So I wanted to do something. Real estate seemed like the lowest barrier of entry. It made most sense to me. I'm not smart enough to start a tech company or an app or some type of, clothing brand. I am just in there. Real estate's understandable, it's accessible, and it made sense to me. So I got in that game. And no, I did not think I would own this much real estate or be doing this or chatting with you here today about it. It just kind of has happened over time.
Dang, that's cool. And I know you're a busy guy, so I'll let you go soon. You have all those videos to make, 30 hours a week. How do you do it? Do you have a team, or is it just you?
I have a team now. So majority of my following and what I've been able to create was kind of me just doing it myself. And then once I got to a certain point, I wanted to kind of focus on other things besides just growing an audience. I started in like mid 2020. I started posting on social media. So a while ago, but not too long ago. About a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I started bringing in like editor to help with the YouTube, and they help me with short form. And now I kind of have like a social media like assistant, like person that kind of helps me out a little bit. And then I have 3 editors that help me edit the long form and the short form and the podcast and all that kind of stuff.
Dang. Oh my gosh, you're everywhere. No wonder you have so many followers. Jesus. That makes sense.
Yep. Short form, TikTok to podcast. Get everybody, you get the short form watchers and the long form listeners.
Smart. So I guess more of like a kind of an ending question. And this is more for the youngins like myself. I hope I am a part of that category still.
You are.
How do you manage doing all of this? And I'm assuming you have friendships or separate friendships, or I know that you started doing this. Well, I mean, you started a decent amount of time ago. So were there some friendships that you felt fell off because they didn't necessarily align with where you were going now? Or what should somebody look for, I guess, in any age when it comes to their environment and the people that they're associating around, as well as if they're trying to grow this like real estate, I guess, portfolio or endeavor?
Yeah, for sure. So a couple things. I definitely have some friendships that I think friendships fade over time. A lot of you have kids at a certain age and some don't, and some are interested in traveling and moving. So friendships, I think, kind of ebb and flow. A lot of them, there's obviously your core ones that you stick with. But what I've kind of done differently, which has mostly been good, is a lot of my friends I work with. So we have like 40-ish employees, and
Mhm.
about 15 of them are friends that I went to middle school with and elementary school with and high school and college with. So a lot of like my friends, they say don't do business with friends and family. Well, we do here. So I get to work with a lot of my friends. My business partner Lucas has been my best friend since middle school. A lot of our friends, work for us. Some of them works out, some of them doesn't. It's okay. We just communicate and just this isn't a good fit, or we move them around. So we've had a lot of people want to work with us, and a lot of them are friends. And if it's a good fit and good expectation, they work hard. We bring them in. So I work with my friends. How about that for an answer?
Yeah. Okay. I love that. I keep hearing essentially the same thing. Don't work with your friends and your family, but I want to. And I don't know yet how to bring them into what I'm doing now. But I love to hear about other people and how they kind of intermingle the two. So thanks.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I'm not telling everybody to do this, but a lot of times I've done the opposite of what people say to do, and it's worked out pretty well. Because if everybody's doing something, where's your advantage? Everybody's doing the same thing. My
Mm.
friends are my friends will been friends for 25 years. You don't think they'll run through a wall for us in our company? You can't. It takes a long time to build loyalty. I can teach them the skill or get them in a position to help them be successful and communicate with them, incentivize them to have hard talks. You need to do this or do that. But what's really hard to do is hire somebody on Indeed that's willing to run through a wall for you. So I'll take the loyalty and I'll teach the skill.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, thank you, Sam. Where can people find you? Why would
Yeah.
they want to find you?
Yeah, if you want to learn more about real estate, I put out a lot of really free content on all social media platforms, from X to TikTok to Instagram to YouTube to Facebook, podcast, The Fast and Freedom Show. So if you want to get a hold of me, just Instagram is the best place to communicate. But you can look me up on any platform that you like listening and watching and hearing things. I do my best to provide as much free content as I can. And a few people want to be coached, and I have a program for that. But if you don't, no big deal. I think you'll learn a lot from my free stuff. I get messages quite often from people saying they watched a video or listened to a podcast and were able to take action just from that. So it'll be a good use of your time if you're into that whole financial freedom thing.
Hell yeah. Cool. Thank you. I appreciate you coming on. It's always a pleasure chatting with you. So it's nice to actually have other people that kind of get to know you now.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you having me. We'll go live in a few weeks on Instagram, so we can go that route. But this was fun. Thanks for having me, Jada.
I'll hold you to it, Sam.
All right. See you.
Farewell. Bye, all.